A family of people, empowering people built on generations of trust. That is the motto that we live by at GIS, especially here marking our 75th anniversary. I'd like to give you a little details on the history of GIS. GIS was founded in 1948 by my great-grandparents, Ouida and Clyde Prejean Sr., as a modest shipyard in Valentine, Louisiana, servicing the commercial fishing industry. In the early 1950s, Clyde eventually migrated with his company and family to Grand Isle to better serve the fishing industry there. He took advantage of the opportunity to expand their business as a dual service provider. Clyde and Ouida's sons, Robert, a machinist, and Clyde Jr., a welder, joined the company in the 1960s. During this time, they secured their first offshore contract with Humble Oil, which was later purchased by Exxon. The company was beginning to grow substantially, with many new employees getting hired on for new work they were beginning to secure. In the 1970s, Clyde Sr. eventually retired and left the business to his three sons, Robert, Clyde Jr., and Richard. Although GIS stands for Grand Isle Shipyard, the only boat ever built by GIS was the Choctaw in the late 1970s. In the early 80s, the company transformed from a dual service provider to an oil field service company with a new generation of management. During this time, the company became known in the industry as GIS Oil Field Contractors. Once in the 1990s, GIS experienced a rapid growth of expansion from third-generation ownership, both in geographical locations and service lines. The company added new service lines for offshore, fabrication, and project management, as well as expanded their footprint internationally into Venezuela. Growth with facility additions and new services continued into the 2000s, with civil aggregates and environmental service lines being incorporated within the company. During these years, GIS continued to expand their footprint internationally into countries including Brazil and Nigeria. GIS developed a recognized reputation of being the leading oil field contractor with an excellent safety record and program. Within the 2010s, GIS began the Coastal and Industrial Engineering Company, as well as acquired Blanchard Industrial to expand into the downstream markets. We also expanded service capabilities into drones, mod software, and rope access, as well as established a joint venture with Worley Parsons. Expansions into new markets and rapid personnel growth has continued into the 2020s, even through the COVID-19 pandemic and oil price challenges. Within the past few years, we have increased our portfolio of services through the acquisition of fabric maintenance, electrical, and surveying companies, along with the addition of disaster relief and utility vegetation management capabilities. Here at GIS, we pride ourselves in putting people first, which I believe is the main reason we've been in business for 75 years. Although we're a sizable company, we maintain a small, intimate atmosphere. We have peaks and valleys like any other company, but by staying true to our motto is the reason we've been in business for the past 75 years and gotten us to where we're at today. And we have 75 years of people to thank for that.